Hey class, it's just me, Mr. Wee. I'm just here to talk about the last part of what is it, section 3.5, I believe, that we couldn't go over in class. Right? 3.5? Oh, buddy, this is yours. Yes, 3.5. Okay. So essentially, before you guys were used to saying this. Don't take these notes. This helps, okay? But you don't have to take this one down, okay? You guys were used to seeing stuff like this. Y is equal to what is it? Something with like a x squared plus 4x plus 4, something like that. And then we'd set it equal to 0, meaning that y is equal to 0. And then I said solve for it, meaning you would have to factor this out, x plus 2 and x plus 2, okay? And then you'd have to figure out what the x's were equal to make this true, okay? Right? And those would be roots, and those would be like if it was a parabola, okay? It'd be like those points that I figured out right there would be where the x coordinates are for when your parabola crosses the x-axis, okay? That's what we solved before, right? However, today we're not doing that. We're doing something a little bit different. We're solving the same type of equation except with an inequality to 0. We're going to do it by graphing, okay? So look here. In this case, I'm looking at a situation scenario where I have the polynomial is less than 0. I know that's kind of hard to see, but that's less than 0, okay? Less than 0. In this case over here, if my parabola opens up, and then in this case, if the parabola opens up, that means the a value has to be positive. It's bigger, okay? What it's saying is all these values of x, okay, will give me, only the values between here and here will give me y values that are less than 0. Does that make sense? Meaning like every single x value here gives a corresponding y value here and here and here that are all below 0, okay? That's what we're trying to figure out. How can I find the values, for sure, like a range of values that tell me if I plug them into this equation that they're going to give me a y value less than 0, okay? That's what we're doing. That's what I mean by solving this. So take a minute to go ahead and write this down, okay? Go ahead and write this down, pause it if you need, if you haven't already. Essentially, this is kind of like a little rule and cheat sheet right here, if you can memorize it here. Like it tells me if my graph goes down, the values that are going to go to the left and the right of these two roots are all the numbers that give me values on the function that are below 0. So again, you see how the function kind of dips below 0 here, like all the y values become negative down here and here. Well, that's telling me, these arrows are telling me that all the x values going from the left, or going to the left here to the right here, give me points on the graph that go below 0. Does that make sense? Okay. Over here, kind of opposite, is what if I'm trying to find all the values that go bigger than 0? All the values of x that I can plug in to give me a y value that's greater than 0. Again, look over here. Look at all the y values that go up here. See that? All the y values that are above 0? Look at the accompanying, look at their corresponding x values. They're all to the left and to the right of the roots, right? Okay, it's all in relation to the roots, by the way. Once I figure out the roots, that will tell me either if the roots are let's see, to the left and to the right of the roots will give me y values that are above the x-axis or below the y-axis, or below the x-axis. Okay, so all these values here and here for the x will give me a bunch of corresponding y values, okay, that are above 0, right? If that makes sense. And for down here, when your a is less than 0, all right, again, if my a was less than 0, it's a negative, and then your parabola opens down, only these x values will give me y values that are more than just 0, that don't go below the x-axis, okay? I know it's a little confusing, but hopefully that helps with the concept. Part 2, we're going to go through an actual calculation. Thanks for listening.